Staying in Contact. I'm London Mitchell. My guest in this installment is a longtime friend of mine, former television journalist and now local author, Anthony Knopps. We're going to discuss his new book, published by the University of Toledo Press, The No-Fail Mission, The Men and Women Behind the Presidential Service Badge. The book features stories about 10 dedicated individuals who have earned the Presidential Service Badge. As you know, Anthony, I've been working in radio news for over 50 years, but I don't think I've ever heard of the Presidential Service Badge before. This was brand new for me. What what's the award?
Yeah, it's not just brand new for you, but it's brand new for a lot of people because a lot of people, if you ask 100 people on the street what the Presidential Service Badge is, even if you were walking around Washington, you would be it would be hard for you to get any answers. And what this is, it's was started by Eisenhower. It was modified by Johnson. So this is more than 60 years old. Um, the people that are awarded the Presidential Service Badge get it for meritorious service to the office of the president. So what does that mean? Well, there's no checklist. There's no like 10 items you check off a list and poof, you get the badge. It's really for service above and beyond. And when you look at the amount of people we've had in our military for the past 60 years, you have a large group. You have the amount of people that are in the military that have served at the White House, a much smaller group. And then those who have attained the Presidential Service Badge, an even smaller group. So when you look at numbers, just the vast quantity of numbers in the last 60 years, or so. There've been about 20,000 badge holders, and that sounds like a large number, but when you look at the scale, it's really not. It's really, in essence, the top 1% of the 1%. These are people who do their job quietly, without in our modern day, there's so much attention about me. I have to draw attention to me. I have to make sure I post this about me. These folks aren't like that. These folks are in it to get the mission done. And what is that mission? Well, it could be a number of things. It could be something as simple or as humorous as the president left his briefing book on the plane, and we got to go back and get it, which actually happens more frequently than we'd like to admit. It happened in New Delhi. One of the people I profiled had to go back and get the book, get the briefing book, and between the Air Force One and the appointment and the site, there was a huge accident in New Delhi. That's not terribly unheard of. So they had to hop on a scooter and cut through the fencing between the interstates and approach the venue going the wrong way on a one-way street, and they recorded it because they wanted proof that to show their families that if we didn't make it back, that they'd actually know what happened. So you got those kind of stories, but to a man and to a woman, these folks are not politically. They're not a part of a political party. They're there to serve the office, and I think in this day and age, that's something that's really important. That there are people that are willing to put put their mission, put the country above self, put country above party, and get the job done, because there's so much conflict here. And what's really resonated in this book and the people who've read it is the unity and the humility of these folks who who in essence toil in the shadows.
Well, that was going to be my next question. Is there an underlying theme to the 10 stories you tell?
I think so. I think so. And a lot of it is about family. It's a concept that we're all one big happy family. All we but the launch that we had on July 17th at the Army Navy Club in DC, I really saw that firsthand. There were a number of badge holders in the room, and talking to colleagues that they hadn't seen for years. And one said, "I had always looked up to you because you always had it all together, and I wanted to be like you when I grew up." And and they say that jokingly, but there is that underlying truth to that. They they saw how hard that job was, and they saw people who were doing it effortlessly, and they wanted to be a part of that. And I think one thing that we fail to realize as a member of the general public is these people are not robots. These people have families in many cases. They're worried about their kids' grades. They're worried about who's picking up their daughter at soccer practice, while they're also taking care of the leader of the free world. So family is critical to making it all work, and that's one reason why when I was asked to write this, we looked at, okay, what can we do to expand the scope and the reach of the project. And the person who commissioned me to write it, a badge holder himself, said, "Why not? Why not do something for the families?" And that's when we decided to devote the proceeds of the book to a scholarship fund for family members of service members. And I think that's an important component here. And we'll never see those people see the impact that we have. And in essence, that's kind of what they do. They'll never see the impact of their decisions and their mission, but that's a good thing, because if something does go wrong, then the whole world knows about it. So extreme amount of pressure, and mental health is a huge component of that, and we do address that in the book in one of the chapters, the challenge of mental health.
That is an aspect I hadn't considered, but working within the White House, working directly for the president, must put a lot of stress on a person's shoulders.
Incredibly so. And you handle stress in different ways. Sometimes you handle it with humor. Sometimes you just handle it by executing what you need to do. Uh, Sometimes you handle stress by taking opportunities to do certain things that you wouldn't have the opportunity to. One of the people profiled in the book is from New England. And she hadn't been home for a number of years. And when the Boston Marathon bombing happened, President Obama wanted to make sure that he was there, that he had a presence, and she volunteered for the duty to be with him as he returned to her home, and brought forth the healing that region needed, and really that she needed. And when you know you wonder why they all wear the dark glasses. Well, she said, "I wore the dark glasses that day so nobody could hear me, nobody could see me cry," because the whole emotion of the moment uh really got to her.
Anthony, tell me, as you have met many of the people that you write about and others that have received the Presidential Service Badge. How has it affected you personally? Has it changed you?
Well, I think every book changes an author. This one certainly has. Uh, you become less cynical. You know, 30 years in TV and in journalism gets you to doubt a lot of things, doubt directions of where we're going. This is sort of, in a way, it's re-energized me. It's re-centered me because it's taught me that there are people that are looking out for the best interests of this country and of those around the world. And that's a great lesson to have. Especially now when you deal with the vitriol and the angst on social media and everybody taking taking the low road as much as possible. These are folks that, by definition, take the high road, and they execute their mission without a desire to draw attention to themselves. And I think this world kind of needs some of that.
This is a book that I think should be recommended for everyone to read, not just those who like thrillers or like biographies, but this is a book for everyone.
Yeah, I think so. Somebody who read it last week and sent me a note. I just got this book. I just read it. So this is really a leadership book, and I necessarily didn't create it that way. But if that was their takeaway, then yeah, I can see that, because it is how to lead and how to lead from the front. How to lead. One person profiled in there is a colonel, and he visibly demonstrated to his soldiers what leadership was in a variety of different ways. And when we do that, when we see what those in leadership positions are doing for the betterment of their staff, for their employees, for their students, whatever group you say, then I think that is a book that kind of transcends different areas, and it doesn't really fit into one preconceived box. It's what the reader takes away from it, and I think that's a good thing.
My guest, Anthony Knopps. His new book is The No-Fail Mission, The Men and Women Behind the Presidential Service Badge. It's available wherever you get your books. I'm London Mitchell, inviting you to join us next week as we continue staying in contact.
Previous episodes of Staying in Contact with London Mitchell are available on Apple Podcasts, Amazon Podcasts, Podbean, the Suite 419 app, and londonmitchell.news.